Hey, get in, Lance. Here, robot splice M1, Billy clip, handy Billy, pliers, pants.
Sample bottles, dye marker, flares, safety float, temperature gauge, spear guns, SMG.
What are you, some kind of half-ass astronaut? Take that gun down of yourself below and you'll lash it secure, you right? You understand me? Jesus H. Christ. When I was a boy, every little squirt wanted to be a harpooner or a sword fisherman. And you got here, portable shower or a monkey cage?
Anti-shark cage.
Anti-shark cage. You go inside the cage. Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Shark's in the water. Our shark. Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.
JAWGUST. JAWGUST. JAWGUST is back once again. Jaws is 50, so I thought, my friends, for you to come with me as I go back to Amity. A 31-day podcast, talking 4 minutes of Jaws each day. It will be another month-long show for me, and I hope to see you there, 'cause JAWGUST is back again.
"18 in life, you got it. 18 in life to go. Your crime is time, and it's day 18 of JAWGUST. Happy Monday, everybody. That's right. It's JAWGUST 18th, which means it's day 18 of JAWGUST, like I already said, and it's day 18 of Golden JAWGUST. And you know what that means? That means for the 18th day in a row, I am here talking Jaws to you, the people of Earth, and perhaps some other planets out there. You never know. They could be beaming these radio signals, and decades from now, from the planet Schlip. They're like, "What is this? We are doing. Why do I sound like Hervey Villages all of a sudden? Well, it's the pod. And then I really don't know where I was going with this, but I know one thing: I'm not going back. I'm not going back and editing that. I am leaving that in to this episode. Happy Monday, as I said. Today was a long day for me. It is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as I'm speaking to you this evening. And my dog didn't wake me up till almost 6, which was awesome. And she's already passed out again because she had a long day yesterday. I think I told you we took her out and we took her to a bar. That's right. And she got up early. Well, not too early. And we went for a big walk. And then I worked outside. And for some reason, when I work outside on my back deck, the day feels like it's so long. Plus, I only worked 2 days last week. I had a 5-day weekend. So it was a lot of catching up on stuff. And it was just a lot. And then there was some stuff I was like, oh, I did it wrong and I had to redo it. Nobody noticed, but I noticed. And I was like, oh, I got to redo this. So it felt like a long day, of sitting. And then my wife's like, why don't you go walk the dog? Instead of take a break from sitting. I was like, I really like sitting. I'm really good at it. And so I did. We left for about an hour, came back, had some dinner, relaxed for a few minutes, not too long. Then I watched 4 minutes of Jaws, and now I'm here talking about those 4 minutes to you. It picks up it starts with, Quint trying his best to impose his authority over Hooper and Brody. He definitely has more of it over Brody than he does Hooper. I think Brody is actually more desperate. Hooper is, of course, of interest, but Brody's the more desperate one. So he's going to kowtow to anything that Quint wants to do, within reason. And this ends, and I think I said this yesterday, I signaled it, but this truly does end with the end of Act 1, as I call it. Literally, it's like you're seeing Amity for the last time, you're going away from it, and you won't even think about it until the very, very end of the movie, which for us isn't for another 13 days. So our segment starts with Hooper. He finished the sheep shank and he throws it at Quint. He's like, how's this? And Quint comes up, and as I said, right away, he is trying to intimidate and kind of just show dominance over these guys. He's like, he's like a dog coming in and pissing, letting people know this is his location, this is his territory. As he grabs Hooper by the hands, he's like, give me your hands. He grabs him.
Dogfish? You got a $5,000 net. You got $2,000 worth of fishing, and along comes Mr. Whitey. By the time he's finished with that net, looks like a kiddie scissor class has cut it up for a paper doll. You got city hands, Mr. Hooper. You've been counting money all your life.
All right. Hey, I don't need this. I don't need this working class hero crap.
There's a couple things I love about that quick scene. You have Quint, basically judging this guy just based on his hands. He says dogfish, and that's in reference to in the previous segment where he said, I'm not talking about hooking some poor dogfish or sand shark. I'm talking about finding a great white. And Quint is now like dogfish. And then he says, when you get a $5,000 net, you get $2,000 worth of fish. Now, I'm pretty sure he says $2,000 worth of fish in it. And for some reason, the transcript I was looking at said $2,000 worth of fishermen. No, that's not right. I don't know who created this. It wasn't AI, as far as I can tell, because this looks like an old webpage. But then I go over to movies.fandom.com, and there's a JAWS transcript, and it says, you got a $5,000 net, you got $2,000 worth of fish in it. Okay. And along comes Mr. Whitey. By the time he's finished with that net, it looks like a kitty scissor class has cut it up for paper doll. I still don't even know, a kitty scissors class. Is that a thing? Do kids have something called a scissors class? Or I assume he means like a classroom of kids with little scissors cutting up for paper. I mean, that's exactly what he means. I just never heard it said in that way. Then he's like, you have city hands, Mr. Hooper. You've been counting money all your life. So he looks at his hands, and his hands aren't as rough as his. And he's basically calling him a rich kid, who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And Hooper is not going to take his shit. He's like, I don't need this. I don't need this working class hero crap. He pulls the hands away. He does not stick up for him. Does not have to feel the need to justify himself. He did already. He said, this is what I've done. Transplants. But what I love about that shot, that moment, is in between the two of them, they have a shot of the hands touching, Quint holding Hooper's hands, and you have Brody just standing quietly, basically powerless between them. He's just like kind of watching them. He's the main, there's two guys at odds, and there's just the chief just kind of like, okay, he doesn't want to lose either of them. That's the problem. He needs both of them. Technically, they don't really need him to be out there. He needs them. So he's like, I don't want to ruffle any of these feathers. But, Hooper pulls his hands away, and he's like, you're not going to do that aboard the ship, are you, Mr. Quint? That's what Brody says. And he's like, I love the face that Quint makes. He almost gives like a, maybe I will. I'll do whatever I want. He's like, maybe I should go alone. He did say he wanted to go alone, me by myself. But nope. Brody says, it's my party, my charter. He's like, yeah, it's your charter, it's your party, but it's my vessel. And I love that. He goes, you're on board my vessel. I'm mate, master pilot, and I'm captain. I'm everything. But he says, I'll take him for ballast, Chief. I never understood what that means. I had to look up ballast. He's basically saying, I'll take him to balance things out. And that's pretty much what he's doing. And Brody says, you got it. And you can see Hooper's just like, he wants to do this. He really wants to go out and see this fish. He really wants to experience this. And he's like, I got to deal with this dick. We then come to the final scene at the shores of Amity. This is the clip that I played at the beginning of this episode. And I love this, I just love this location. You got Quint's little shack. You got like a little harbor right there. But then behind them, there's sand. There's a classic old looking station wagon, and then there's more water. Like, it just feels like a village. And you have Quint and his little toady is just helping out. He's not going on that ship. He comes down, he's got rope, he's got a harpoon, he's got stuff, he's got all his equipment, and Hooper's walking down, and you hear, before you see, Hooper has these assistants who we never knew of and we never see again. They must have come from the Oceanographic Institute. They brought all his stuff. I mean, all this fancy equipment, sonar, this doodad, that doodad, the tanks, everything, the spear guns, all of it. And you have, then Hooper's like, what are you? Quint says, what are you? Some sort of half-ass astronaut? Ha ha ha. And he's giddy. Quint is so giddy in this segment, that he just can't help himself. And, he's laughing at Hooper, and then he sees the guys bring the cage aboard, and he's like, Jesus H. Christ, when I was a boy, every skirt wanted to be a harpooner or a swords fisherman. What do you got here? A portable shower or a monkey cage? And then you got the classic, he says anti-shark cage. And this back and forth between them, he says, you go in the cage goes in the water, and Hooper's like, yep, that's right. He's just laughing, like he's taking it, but he's like, you could tell he's kind of like, what a douche. You go in the water, shark's in the water, our shark. And then we get the classic Quint singing Spanish ladies. But what if I told you that this might be an early example of a meta Easter egg? Because here you have Robert Shaw in 1975 as Quint sarcastically singing Spanish ladies. But if you go back 19 years earlier to 1956, you go to a little television show called The Buccaneers. We go to episode number 9 from November 14th, 1956. The show The Buccaneers revolves around a character named Dan Tempest. In this episode, Tempest hears of Blackbeard's plan to board the vessel Caroline under a flag of truce and to steal its cargo. And that cargo? Women! And who the hell plays Dan Tempest but, of course, Robert Shaw, who every so often would be known to pick up an instrument and sing a little sea shanty.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you of Spain.
Signal message received.
Oh,
Will you? Aye,
we've
sir.
received orders for to sail to Old England. And so nevermore shall we see you again.
Listen to that canary bird, Dan Tempest.
Okay, how awesome is that? The fact that Robert Shaw sang Spanish Ladies in 1975 for Jaws, and Robert Shaw sang Spanish Ladies in 1956 for the Buccaneers on television. I just find that, I wonder if he decided to just sing that. That was ad-lib, that was impromptu because he thought of a sea shanty that he knew well. I don't know. I didn't read the trivia on this. It's just, I don't think I knew about this till last year. It might have been the Daily Jaws who posted it on YouTube. Somebody posted it on some social, and it showed him from, Jaws. It kind of had them edited together from the Buccaneers and then from Jaws. And just an incredible bit of trivia that I'm glad I was able to finally share on JAWGUST. Oh, what a wonderful day of JAWGUST it is. So we then see Ellen, she has pants on now, for the final time of this movie, and she's got her little kerchief on again. I love that look. She's just kind of, you could see she's nervous. I don't even know if Brody was like, "Can I just go?" She's like, I'm going to walk you down. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to see you off. Wow, those are some bell bottoms she has on. She's like, "Did you take your Dramamine?" He's like, yes. And I put an extra glasses in your black socks, and there's the stuff for your nose, the zinc oxide and the Blistex and the kid. Well, while that's going on in the background, you have Quint being very loud and annoying and boisterous and awesome and sexist all at once.
Kiss.
Son of a bitch! Goddamn women today, they can't handle nothing. Young girls is quite smart, like their grandmothers were.
It's got to be Quint.
This collection of
Colorful, isn't it?
35,
scares me.
45-year-old dumpskis they raise. Christ almighty.
I got to tell you, I don't know what the hell he's talking about here. He's like, goddamn women today, they can't handle nothing. Is it because he sees Ellen being nervous about Brody going in the boat? Is he actually yelling about Ellen? He's like, young girls just ain't quite smart like the grandmothers were. And he just goes on and on like dumb skis they raised or something like that. It's wild. And he's just being, again, he's just so excited and annoying all at once. And then he, Brody's still talking to Ellen. He's like, don't use the fireplace. And she's like, what am I supposed to tell the kids?
Tell them I'm going fishing.
They have this heartwarming embrace. It's really sweet. It's their last hug together, and then Quint just completely ruins it.
Bring it up with you, Chief! Daylight's wasted!
And now he just starts ranting, and I love it.
Front bow, back stern. Don't get it right, Squirt. I throw your ass out the little round window on the side. Come on, Chief. This isn't no Boy Scout picnic. See, you got your rubbers. Here lies the body of Mary Lee. Died at the age of 103. For 15 years, she kept her virginity. Not a bad record for this vicinity. All right, Commissioner. Fasten your safety belt. If you see a shark, Hooper, swallow.
It's at this point Ellen just runs off like, and that's it. That's the last time we see her. Then the last shot we see is this giant shark jawbone that is up against a window, and you see Amity, the last shot of Amity as the boat is heading off to sea. It's an awesome shot. It's like, this is the end, and this is where we're going. This is where the rest of the movie lies. I do not get the if you see a shark, Hooper, swallow, but I love it. I just know it's wise. He's being a wise ass, and it's working. But you could see that's actually freaking out Ellen more. It's making her less relaxed about this whole situation. She just runs off. She has no idea what's going to happen. And what's crazy is she probably could never expect that it happens the way it happens. Like they get, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's say they get to shore. They get back, Ellen, I'm home. oh my goodness gracious, why didn't you call me on the payphone? Or maybe he calls her on the payphone. Can you come pick me up? She's like, oh great. Why are you so wet? And where's your jacket? And where's all your equipment? And where's the boat? And where's the other guy? And what's going on? And then he's like, boy, do I have a story to tell you. But first, and then he walks up to Larry, punches him right in the square in the face. I have some thoughts about what happens to Larry Vaughn in the real world of Jaws without Jaws 3, 2, 4, any of them, whatever. And I think I'm going to talk about that tomorrow more when I have a special guest on the show. But that's it. That's it for this 4 minutes of Jaws, the final goodbye to Amity, the final goodbye to Ellen Brody, and the beginning of a sea adventure for the ages. Now, this podcast, JAWGUST, the show JAWGUST, is part of the Geek Mentality podcast, and it's available wherever you can get podcasts, really anywhere, and of course at fansnotexperts.com. But if you listen on Spotify, the cool thing is you can leave comments with every episode that gets posted. And wouldn't you know it, I have 2 new comments. And wouldn't you know it, they're from my number 1 commenter, Amber Brown Dog, also known as Mike B. He left 2 comments. One was from day 16, and one was from day 17. So day 16, that's the episode that I was with Chris, and Dave showed up too. And he asked an interesting question. He said, this might be a better question during sitcom All You Faithful. Oh, Mike, the fact that you're bringing up another show on Geek Mentality just makes me so happy to know that people are finding these shows. He says, this will be a better question for sitcom All You Faithful. However, with Chris and Dave on Geek Mentality this week, yes, that's the first time Dave's ever been on, and it might be the last time, not because I don't want him on the show. It's because I almost have to trick him to get on the show. Like he didn't know that he was going to end up on the show. In fact, even when I said it, I said, "Oh, breaking news! We're breaking into JAWGUST." Then the next day, I told him, he's like, "I was." I was like, he said, "What did I say?" I'm like, "Oh Jesus," which might explain his input or the whole episode of Kingpin that I haven't put up online yet, but we do have recorded. So Mike asks, what sitcom spinoff is most comparable to Fine Movies, Fine Spirits? So if Fine Movies, Fine Spirits is the spinoff of Geek Mentality, what would that be? I feel like it would be like Lou Grant. You know, it's a different show. So let's say Geek Mentality is the main show and Fine Movies, Fine Spirits is the spinoff. Geek Mentality is the Mary Tyler Moore Show. It's the classic. You know, it's the one everyone loves. And Fine Movies, Fine Spirits is the much more serious approach. Yes, we make fun of each other. Yes, we joke. But let's put it this way. I put one song on one episode, and I got a lashing. I got a talking to from Chris about, I think it said, like, this isn't Geek Mentality. I mean, I know he's kidding, but he says, this ain't Geek Mentality, bub. And I was like, well, man, when you have the edit pen, you can do whatever you want. So I thought about putting a song in every episode after that just to give it back to him. But I don't know I think I'm saying this right. Like, if a spinoff is comparable to, now if Geek Mentality is the spinoff and Fine Movies, Fine Spirits is the original, let's say the Geek Mentality, because Fine Movies, Fine Spirits kind of focuses on, movies that we love. It's not just movies in general where we shit on some and love some. It really focuses on movies that, you're going in knowing they like this movie. Otherwise, they wouldn't have chose it. Chose it? No, it's definitely not choose it. So Geek Mentality, sometimes it's, I just want to watch this, and whatever happens, I might love it, I might hate it. So let me see. That one is more like straight-laced, and one is more zany. Again, it makes me think of was After MASH a comedy? I'm going to stick with my original that not to say that, Mary Tyler Moore, that Geek Mentality is an all-time classic podcast. I mean, I'll let the audience say that for us. No, but it's just that one is a little sillier than the other. So I think I'm saying this right. I'm not sure. But if Chris is listening to this, which of course he is, he's probably running right now. He's like, that mother effer. Text me, Chris, and you tell me what you think. And Mike, I want to hear what you think. You, put a comment on today's episode saying what you think it could be. Then he has another comment on yesterday's episode. It says, great to have the crossover with Chris and Dave on JAWGUST. Back for the hot topic of the month, Brody hired Quint as a contractor to kill the shark, which was approved by Vaughn. Quint did not kill the shark, and Brody would not be able to hire himself. We never see the contract, but if this is never going to die. But if it was structured in a way that was not contingent on killing the shark, then perhaps Quint is paid an hourly rate for a charter. However, if the contract was, as Quint stated at the town meeting, no payment. Except in that episode, in yesterday's episode, he says $10,000, $200 a day, even if I don't kill the shark. So he's getting $200 a day no matter what. Now the contract that Larry, the contract wasn't approved by, maybe Brody hired Quint as a contractor, which was approved by Vaughn. Vaughn approved Brody to hire someone, then to approve the hiring, and then to get someone. Then Brody says, I'm going to hire Quint. We're going to hire Quint to kill the shark. So this is the debate that's going to go on forever and ever. I feel like I need a contract lawyer to, just based on what we know from Jaws, to give us an actual answer. I can't imagine a city official, a city employee gets any money. And I would imagine that the shark was killed. I think by the letter of the law, all the money needs to still go to Quint, because he was hired to kill the shark. He was the captain. Yes, it was Brody's charter. Well, then Brody shouldn't. I guess, what was he just hiring Quint to do? Drive the boat? I mean, Hooper drove the boat. What I'm saying is, Quint deserves every penny of the money. I think that's where I'm coming down on. We know Hooper doesn't need it. Brody doesn't get it. Quint gets it. And goddamn it should come out of Larry's pocket.
We'll get back to JAWGUST soon, but right now we have a special long-distance dedication. And it starts, Michael, I'm a big fan of the show. Your name's Michael? My name's also Michael. You write songs? Well, I consider myself a bit of a songwriter myself. In fact, I've sent you some song lyrics that I think are on theme with your project this year. I wonder if you might take a look at them. Well, Michael, I'll do you one better than that. From one mic to another, happy JAWGUST, and here is your long-distance dedication.
Here's the story of a shark named Bruce, who ate Chrissy, Alex, and a man that rose. All of Amity was in agreement.
For 24 hours.
The beaches must be closed. Here's the story of a chief named Brody, who was hunting with Hooper and Quint. They were three men singing all together. What the future held, they had no hint. Then one day when Jaws met these fellows, and he thought that it was much more than a hunch, that these three men he'd easily devour, until he smiled and became seagull lunch. Seagull lunch, seagull lunch.
Jaws exploded and became seagull lunch.
Portions of that last segment were dramatized for comedic effect. Were lyrics sent to me? Yes, they were. Was a letter sent to me along with it? No, it was not. In fact, these lyrics were sent to a go-between, a podcast regular. I've mentioned him already, Chris. So Mike number one, maybe I'm Mike number one. Mike number two, Mike C, Mike B, whatever. Mike B sent the lyrics to Chris. Chris sent the lyrics to me. Now we have a digital world where you could copy text and send it to someone, but somehow it became a photograph of a Word doc or some sort of document that then got sent to me. I don't know if Chris took the picture or if Mike took the picture and sent it to Chris. I don't know. All I know is that there were multiple versions of this song that Chris was texting me throughout the day last couple weeks ago, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I have to do this. I don't care. Like, once I saw the lyrics, I was like, oh, I've been doing sitcom songs all year. I thought, oh my God, I never even thought about doing the Brady Bunch. It didn't pop in my head. And it makes so much sense. Brady, Brody, it almost writes itself. And in fact, for this, it did, because I didn't write the lyrics. I took the lyrics and I said, I want to do this right. I think I changed one word. I might have taken an out. But other than that, I sang that verbatim, like I was a hired gun back in the Motown days, and the producers get me in there and they say, sing this song just like this. And I do it, and I do it again. And and then I thought, well, how do I do this while saying, okay, I'm singing this, but I didn't write it. How do I do this? And then I realized that I was going to take a request, which then turned into a long distance dedication. I can't do a Casey Kasem, but I can do a guy who's trying to do a Casey Kasem, and that's what happened. I just took you behind the curtain to teach you how the magic is made. This podcast is nothing if not magical. And may I have opened the floodgates for other people to send song lyrics in? Yeah, maybe I did. I used to do a podcast a million years ago. When I say a million years ago, I mean 20 years ago. I did a podcast called The Mikey C Show that I would ask people for premises of songs, and then I would write the songs. And those weren't even parodies. Those were original songs where I played the instruments, sang them. They were dirty, filthy, and I'm embarrassed by some of them, not all of them, but some of them. And this is not exactly the same as that, but it just reminded me of someone sending something in and me going and producing something from that. I like coming up with ideas, but I also like being given an idea or a challenge and trying to meet that head on. And here, if you didn't think I was going to record this, Chris, you're crazy. Mike, you sent it in. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I don't know if Chris sent it or if you guys sent it thinking, oh, he might think this is funny. Maybe read it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read lyrics. I'm going to sing them. I'm going to sing them loud. I'm going to sing them proud. And I promise this ain't the last song this week. Probably the last song from other lyricists, but not the last song for JAWGUST. But that is for another day, because this day of JAWGUST is now complete. But until tomorrow, which, if all goes right, the plan is to have a very special guest returning to the show. And until then, you know what to do. You can follow me on all the social medias at Geek Mentality, except that friggin' TikTok, which is Geek Mentality Mike. Please follow me there. Please, I beg of you, please clap. On Facebook, it's Fans Not Experts. On YouTube, it's Fans Not Experts, and that's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. Thank you again, Mike, for the comments and for the lyrics, and everyone else. And Mike, I will see you tomorrow. But until then, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. The beaches are closed, and here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe, 'cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans not experts.